But let's of course start with this big story where the double tap strike on the Venezuelan boat by the United States has triggered a political storm in the United States. There are demands for the release of the full footage of the airstrikes that continue to grow. But there also seems to be a bit of a confusion in the White House on who should release the footage. Will it be the Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, Donald Trump, or will it be the American Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth? Before we tell you the full story, listen to these two conflicting statements of President Trump.
You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release, no problem. You know, we stopped every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives.
That's right. So
that's right. And if you look at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%.
Are you committing to releasing the full video?
Didn't I just tell you that?
You said that it was up to Secretary Hegseth.
You're the most obnoxious reporter in the whole place. Let me just tell you, you are an obnoxious, actually a terrible reporter, and it's always the same thing with you. I told you, whatever Pete Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
Now, the issue is also echoing at the Capitol Hill. So far, only some selected lawmakers from both sides have seen the footage. The Congress has now snugged in the demand of footage release in the defense bill. And the lawmakers have threatened to strip 25% of Pete Hegseth's travel budget, the money that they plan to release only if full videos of the strike are provided. Now, Pete Hegseth has denied the release of full footage, but he has said that the Pentagon is reviewing it and will decide what part is fit to be released publicly.
We are reviewing it right now.
Is that a yes or no?
That is, the most important thing to me are the ongoing operations in the Caribbean with our folks that use bespoke capabilities, techniques, procedures in the process. I'm way more interested in protecting that than anything else. So we're reviewing the process and we'll see.
The strike in question took place on the 2nd of September when the U.S. forces carried out a follow-up strike on an alleged drug boat, killing the 2 survivors. Now, experts say that the second strike was illegal, as under the U.S.'s Law of War manual, orders of leaving no survivors are not allowed. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who's joining us live from New York. Susan, bring us up to speed with this entire controversy in the United States about releasing the footage of that double tap strike. Why has it become so controversial, and why has the Trump administration now, it appears, developed cold feet on releasing that footage?
So that footage is about a second strike on a Venezuelan alleged drug boat. And what Congress is saying is very interesting, because lawmakers were able to see part of the footage related to that strike, where there were 2 survivors left after the initial strike, and then the double tap, as it's called in military terms, which the Democrats who saw the footage say that it showed 2 people in distress in international waters, while the Republicans who saw it saw individuals that were still in touch with the alleged narco-terrorists back home, and that they had drugs on them and they would have been a threat to American national security. What's concerning right now is how Congress is going to use its constitutional powers, perhaps, tucking this provision in the National Defense Authorization Act for this year to try to limit the budget for Hegseth's traveling unless and until the Pentagon releases this to the public, because there are lawmakers, and this is bipartisan, they believe that this footage should be made public for the people to see here in the United States, and whether or not it amounts to ultimately war crimes. It could go as far as that. So the Trump administration is in a sticky situation. Congress seems to have leverage regarding this, because it's also tying the release of this footage to a long overdue Pentagon report about other issues. For example, the lessons learned from the Ukraine war and whatnot. So while it's becoming more common, it is rare that the issue of constitutionality really also executive power of Congress is also tied to military actions of the Pentagon.
Interesting. We'll have to see as to how this unfolds. Thank you very much indeed, Susan Tehrani, for joining us with those updates then. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.